Right, we are allegedly live, but as we know, and as you should be familiar with by now, doesn't necessarily mean that we are live because of the lag on YouTube. So I'm just going to witter inanely for a minute or two until I see the viewer. It's up, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so hi there everyone then. Good afternoon and good morning from Sarah and I today. Oh yes, I've got 11 viewers, brilliant. Okay, so it looks like we're all connected. Any questions, don't forget, stick them in the chat window. Sarah's keeping an eye on that this morning. So yes, and pictures would be good. We had lots of nice pictures yesterday. So if you can send us any views or group photos or anything you think would be interesting for us so that we can see what you're doing at your end rather than just looking at pictures of ourselves on the screen. Okay, so is there anything coming through in terms of questions so far, Sarah?
No, just somebody saying, has the video started? And my reply is obviously, yes, it has. But no other questions so far.
Okay, right. I think we've both got our morning coffee or tea.
Have.
Yeah, yesterday we had pictures of a pie, a half-eaten pie.
Yes, I saw that.
Nick was raving about it, and I was going, "Oh, it's too early." But yeah, okay. So where we got to then? We are now on the last day of topic 1, believe it or not. So by the end of today, you need to have posted your reflections on topic 1. And as we discussed yesterday, we said that this should include links to the comments that you've made on the work of other people. Some of you may have had a problem with that. Usually we get a few queries. So Sarah's the expert. So if you've had any issues with linking the comments, please raise them now. Sarah did write a blog post about this, which is in the important announcements section of the module blog. So please do have a look at that if you've struggled with that at all. It's the kind of thing that I think is difficult the first time because it's not very intuitive. Once you've done it once, and know the right place to click, it's quite straightforward. So is there anything coming through?
No, nothing so far. Yeah, no, there's no other questions so far. I was just going to add that sometimes, depending on what theme you've chosen for your blog, you may find that comments don't show at all. Get someone else to have a look at your blog to make sure that comments are appearing, because with some themes, they just don't. With some themes, though, you can change the settings so that they do appear. And the way you do that, if you go to your blog URL in the address bar of your browser, and after the name of your URL, it'll be wordpress.com. If you go /dashboard, and that will bring up all the settings. And if you kind of have a look through those, you should find one that kind of prompts you to show the comments. But that doesn't always work. With some themes, that still doesn't seem to show the comments. So in that case, you might have to change your theme to something else. The best advice I can give you really is check each other's to make sure that the comments are showing. And if yours aren't, and if you can't or don't feel like fiddling with the settings, change your theme to a theme that you know works and go with that. That's usually the other issue that stops comments appearing altogether. But it's important that you link them properly because it makes our life easier. It means that we click on the link that you've put in your reflection and we're taken straight to your comment, and we don't have to scroll down because some of you obviously, there can be quite a conversation going about your blog post, and that's lovely. That's exactly how it should be. But it does mean that we have to then hunt around to find your comment, and obviously our time is very short, and we don't want to do that if we can possibly avoid it.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. Also, the another thing that might stop your comment showing is that you may have inadvertently set the settings so that you have to approve a comment before it displays. So that's something else to check out. It might be that if comments aren't showing, they actually need the owner of the blog to approve them first.
Yeah.
So that's worth checking out. Okay, any questions coming through on that?
Let's have a quick look. No questions so far.
I'm just going to have a quick look at Twitter and see if anyone sent any nice pictures.
Oh yeah, we've got a few pictures. Oh, there's one with me on this time.
Oh yes, Sarah on a laptop screen, surrounded by books. Okay. And what's this? Oh, okay, great. This is Audrey's Audrey's blog post. Great.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really nice
picture of me on the screen.
Popping links to your blogs on Twitter is a really nice thing to do. Not only does it give people a different way of linking to your blog and encourages them to read and comment, but actually you're also building up links which are searchable via Google, and that kind of, if you feel that you want to carry your blog on, if you feel that it might be really useful for you when you leave and you're looking for a job, then actually building up those kind of links is a really good thing to do. So for those of you that are using Twitter, well done, that's brilliant, keep doing it.
Yeah, and also some of you are using Twitter very well as well. I'm looking at the moment at Rebecca Cheers, and yeah, she's not just linked to her blog, but she's written the tweet in a really kind of useful way, thanking people for their comments, includes the hashtag, includes the link to the blog. It just looks really professional.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done for that. And it's raining again. It was raining yesterday. Raining again in Singapore. What a shame. I don't think it is here, actually. Oh, it's a bit dark here. I don't think it's raining there.
It's a bit miserable in Southampton. It's not actually raining, but it's a bit overcast and it was raining first thing this morning, but it's dried up a bit now, but it's a bit overcast and horrid.
Oh, well, never mind. Right, okay, so anything coming through on the question front? If not, I will start showing you something on the MOOC.
No, so there is one question. Does the 150 word limit apply to comments that you respond to on your own blog and follow-up comments as well, or just the first 2 comments that you make on our classmates blog? Just the first 2 comments, okay? Any subsequent comments as a result of conversation, they will, I want to say they don't count. That's not true, because you'll see from the Google form that actually there is, the kind of top flight marks it says could or did result in a conversation. So we acknowledge that happens, but the word limit, there is no word limit. So you could carry on a conversation for as long as you wanted. That's absolutely fine. The word limit only applies to your first 2 comments. That's all.
Yeah, the ones you link to from your reflection that you want us to
Yes.
to take into account. So that those should be short, concise ones. But yeah, Sarah's right. Anything else, do feel free. Okay. Right, I'm going to screen share a moment then and just show you something on the MOOC that might be of interest. So bear with me a second. So what have we got here? Right, there we go. Sarah, perhaps you could just confirm when the screen's actually showing.
Will do.
Can you see the screen, people?
No, not. Oh, there we go. Right, it's on now.
Fantastic. Right, okay. This is just the activity page from the MOOC. And I just wanted to, well, 2 things. Generally, first of all, to remind you that a useful source of posts that you might want to comment on is not just your colleagues' blog posts, but also relevant discussions within the MOOC. And some of you have been doing that nicely already, which is great. And there's some interesting discussions developing around the digital differences theme within the MOOC. In particular, you might like to check out the posts from Joe Dixon. If I just change pages a minute, I can show you. Joe is another of our PhD students, and this is the topic of her PhD, is digital differences, and she helped write that section within the MOOC. and she's been commenting. I'm just scrolling down to find it. Here we are, Jo Dixon. So she's put quite a few comments in there and further links that have cropped up in the conversations about the topic of digital differences. So please do have a look at those. You might find some interesting sort of additional material that you might like to include in your reflections. The other point I wanted to make about the MOOC is to highlight this gentleman, John Bothams. Now, John was actually a learner the first time we ran the MOOC back in the spring. He was a learner on the MOOC, and I say learner, he's actually been researching and teaching and working in this area for about 40 years. And so he was really helpful. He was sharing his knowledge and answering questions on the course. And so we got sort of talking, and that we're writing a paper with him, which is really cool. We'd never have met him, we'd never have known he'd existed without the MOOC. So that's another example of the power of the network and the internet. But the reason I'm wittering about this now is that because John enjoyed the MOOC so much, he volunteered to contribute to future runnings of the course as a mentor. So he's been in on the last course and also on this current one, helping out people and answering their questions and contributing some useful links and that kind of thing. So in particular, the reason I wanted to mention him is that he has worked quite a lot in the past in Singapore, and so he's put a post up there. I'm just going to try and find it. There's several of them here. Where's he gone? Oh, too many posts. Let's see. But he specifically addressed this post to the oh, here we are. It's over to you. He says, I would like to make a comment, particularly for the Singapore students who are working in a course, so we can see and talk to each other informally. And he's spent time out in Singapore in the early 1990s teaching on an MBA program for the University of Strathclyde. So he's got knowledge of your part of the world. He's taught and lived out there, and he's very keen to help and engage with you guys and perhaps update his knowledge about Singapore. I don't think he's been there for a number of years. So please do have a look at that, and it would be great if you could connect with John and perhaps share some information about Singapore with him. He's a really great guy and he's been really helpful, and I'm sure it would benefit your work as well to have correspondence with him. Okay, so that's actually in the over to you section of the MOOC, which is section 2.1. Oh God, there's a horrible picture of me and Nick there. Right, I'm going to stop sharing this screen and go back to the Hangout page. Hopefully. Come on, move. Right, are we back to you and I, Sarah?
Yes, we are. Oh no, hang on.
Right.
No, hang on. It's not quite there yet. Right, now we are.
It seems to be a really long leg today.
I've got a question here from on YouTube, on the YouTube link. What do we name our reflection posts, and under what section do we tag them? It's the topic, isn't it? So you continue to tag it. Yeah. In this case,
topic one,
or categorize it, I should say, topic one. Yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of titles, that's an interesting point actually. Bearing in mind that you guys are all marketing students, it would be nice to see some catchy titles to your posts. Some of them are really rather boring. They say things like topic one or reflection topic one, which, you know, if lots of people do it, there are lots of posts which then have very similar titles. So it doesn't make them stand out in any way. It's quite a nice idea to get into the habit of writing a title that's more engaging, something that encourages people to open your post and find out more. And if you were looking after social media for a company, this is probably what you would be doing. So, you know, bear in mind developing your professional skills as well as your academic work. Think about titles and attracting people to read what you've written. Okay. Any other questions there, Sarah?
No, I've just answered the question about how they categorise their reflection. Yeah, some imaginative titles would be really good. Remember that while you're obviously doing this for a module being run by the University of Southampton, you know, this is also your blog, and we know that it's topic 1 and whatever we've set you, or we know that you know that it's a reflection post. We know that, so you don't need to flag that up to us. But think about somebody who's coming in and reading your blog, who really, you know, who's just enjoying reading your blog. That kind of title might be a bit off-putting. So you don't have to put that in. You know, you don't have to tell us that it's your reflection post. Come up with a title that's, you know, a bit more appropriate or imaginative. That's absolutely fine. And it makes our life more interesting too.
Okay, and it also reminds me of another point about your blogs, which I'm still seeing on some of them, is that you haven't all completed the template sections. It depends which theme you've chosen, but usually there are sections within your blog where you have to actually put in some text to make it. Might be sort of linking to your Twitter feed, or it might be the About Me section, or whatever it is. And if you don't actually complete that template when you set up the blog, it just shows up as an empty box when someone's looking at your blog. So it's worth checking that out. Looking through the different pages on your blog and just checking that there aren't any kind of sort of hidden bits there that, well, they're not hidden, that's the point. Anything showing there that really could just be tucked away nicely if you just completed a box on the setup form. Okay, was there anything else I wanted to say about your blogs? I don't think so. Any other questions coming through?
No, I've just reiterated what you said about filling in bits. I've just said, you know, own it. It's your blog, own it. Fill in those bits that are asking you to, or giving you the chance to customize, you know. Do those things, make it yours. Also, again, it also makes it really interesting for us as well. Yeah,
and, you know, the simple things you can do, like bringing in your Twitter feed, for example, which makes your blog look much more interesting, and, you know, that's continually changing and updating, which helps its Google visibility as well. So, you know, more people will come across your work. Google likes blogs that aren't just static, but are continually updated and have a lot of comments and have a lot of integration with other social tools. So the more you do that kind of thing, the more visible your blog is going to be to someone else if they're searching for particular topics. Okay, so right, in terms of next steps then, quite neatly, actually, I know it wasn't quite so neat with topic 1 because we had the weekend in between, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, your topic 2 fits quite nicely into that. So Wednesday, tomorrow, is your first day on topic 2. And so later on today, I'll post up some information about that, so you can be thinking about getting started on doing some research for your topic 2 posts. And then Thursday is your day for commenting on other people's topic 2 posts, and Friday's your day for your reflections on topic 2. So that really quite neatly fits into the remainder of this week. And it's, as we keep saying, it's exactly the same process as you've been through for topic 1. So everything exactly the same. So if you've now almost gone through the whole topic 1 cycle, then basically it repeats for topic 2, and then again for topic 3 in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. I don't know if anyone has any questions on that, any sort of timetabling or deadline type questions, then please ping them through. Anything?
There's no questions. I'm just reminding, just putting a little comment on the YouTube feed, reminding people to read more than just the sources and resources that we've given. You know, reading widely is really important. It will help you to extend your argument or make interesting points. But, you know, more importantly, if you only use what we give you, you're never going to climb out of the kind of average marks and up into the higher ones. So it's really important that you read more than we give you.
Yeah, that's a really valid point. And when you come to topic 2, you'll see it's all about evaluating information, which links to that quite nicely, because often the problem is if you are looking for more examples or more articles to read or more videos to watch, and you do a search, you know, you might search for digital differences, for example, you'll get so many results that you don't know where to start. And part of one of the, you know, the key skills of digital literacy is, how do you choose? How do you know what's really kind of authoritative, if you like, and what isn't? And we've all heard about fake news, and obviously you don't want to be repeating total rubbish, but there are degrees of fakeness, or degrees of reality, if you like, degrees of accuracy. So it's quite a skill to try and decide, if you've got 10 sources all saying different things, how do you know which is correct? So that's something we're going to be exploring a lot more in topic 2. But I'm just flagging it up now because I think it connects neatly with what Sarah was just saying about wider reading. But there's lots of interesting material in the MOOC about this. Week 2 of the MOOC, the first few sections go through evaluating and assessing online information. And there's also in week 2 some useful hints and tips about using things like Piktochart, Powtoon videos, that kind of thing, which you may want to include in your posts. So do make use of the MOOC as a resource, as well as a means of interacting with people who are taking the course. And I'm sure you'll get benefit from doing that. Okay, how are we doing with questions, Sarah?
No questions. There's somebody being very witty on Twitter about sauces. My personal favourites are chili and barbecue.
Okay, let's have a look.
Which I've replied, ha ha ha, my favourite is horseradish. No questions on YouTube so far.
Okay, we've got a nice teddy bear here on the laptop screen. Oh, twice.
Yes, the teddies appeared.
2 teddies. Yeah, okay. Oh, and there's a picture, photos of photos. Okay, let's have a look at this. Oh yeah, that's the that's a photo within the blog of a Twitter feed showing the photo that was posted on Twitter. So yeah, very meta. Excellent. Okay, surrounded by books. Yes, we've seen that one. Good. Okay. Horseradish. Right, okay, we seem to be getting into a food theme now. Right. Okay, well, I think, gosh, it's probably quite a short session today then. I thought we might have more questions than that. Perhaps you could send us some thumbs up or smileys if all is clear and you're understanding where you're at and where we're going. That would be good to see. Oh, Sarah's screen's frozen as well, so might have lost her temporarily. Hopefully the connection's working okay. So I'm just going to witter for a moment and see if Sarah's picture comes back. Oh, she's gone. Okay, well, we won't finish just yet because I'm not sure if Sarah was in the middle of doing anything in terms of responding to questions or taking new ones. Yeah, she's gone, but hopefully she'll ping back in a minute. Okay, so just to sum up then, where have we got to? We're almost at the end of topic 1. So your reflections are due by the end of today. And then I'll be posting up the information about topic 2 for you later on today. And that will be your tasks for the rest of the week. Your posts for topic 2 tomorrow, your comments on colleagues' topic 2 posts on Thursday, and your reflections on Friday. So hopefully that is quite clear. And we do seem to have completely lost Sarah. Okay, in that case, I'm going to see if I can open the chat window a moment just to see if there's any other questions. Bear with me a second. Let's see. Oops, I'm probably going to get the volume. No, not the volume's off. Any questions? Oh, Sarah. Oh, there's a message from Sarah saying my laptop overheated and shut down again. Oh dear. All right, so Hannah's got a question there. In our reflection posts, we should include our understanding the topic. Yeah. Yes. Oh, Sarah's already answered that. Okay. Yes, that's definitely the case. The reflection is about what additionally have you learned about the topic as a result of commenting and reading the work of others. Okay, I'll just think if there's anything else. Doesn't look like it. Okay, I'll go back to the main window. Right, okay, well, I think I've covered all the questions there. We seem to have lost Sarah totally, so I'm not going to wait around to see if she comes back. If she's got an issue with her laptop, that might take a while. I'm just going to have one more check of Twitter and see if there's anything else. Nope. Right, okay, in that case then, I'll sign off for today. Nick and I will be here tomorrow. So don't forget, if you have any queries in between, just ping them on Twitter or send us an email and we'll see what we can do. Otherwise, we'll see you again same time tomorrow. So have a great evening, everyone, and keep those pictures coming in. It'll be good to see what you get up to beyond, well, perhaps not everything that you get up to beyond the class, but if you're doing something interesting, going somewhere interesting, then ping us through some photos. It would be good to see. Okay, so I'm going to press stop in just a moment and enjoy the rest of your day. Cheerio.